Hi, good afternoon, ladies, everyone who is listening here. Today, I want to share something very passionate about myself, or rather, what I can contribute to people who want to listen to about how to get into a business. Okay, so I know many of you have seen me in different types of aspects of the video or life. But I want to be very clear here. What we are sharing here is a very fundamental issue, which I think want to be addressed, so that those who are interested to actually do kind of change their life or change their income, they have to get certain things right first. Because what I find is many people who actually come into business, particularly. They are very, if they are not well understanding certain aspects of business or about themselves, then a lot of them actually don't do very well. Okay, those who do well have gone through certain types of framework change. This framework change cannot come overnight. It comes over a period of time and a period of self-awareness. So I want to share this something different here, so that anyone want to see this, who actually know, they will build. I will build up a series of programs here, videos, so that you can always refer to them. So today, the first one I want to share is actually very important, which I want to make people aware, because many of us are not aware of this thing. It's called conditioning. Many ways of looking at it. It's one, you can call it self-programming. Another one, you can call it mindset change. Another one, you can call it shift in the way of thinking. As I notice, sometimes some people, mostly people come into a business or any change of environment, maybe from a working life to a business or sales and marketing. They are not able to grasp the understanding of the business, and they give up very fast, and some seem to have disappear, go back into the working life, or they go into some other thing, and over a period of time they are basically give up. Okay, so this is what we call because of a certain program that they have gone through in their life, and then they kind of give up. Okay, so welcome everyone who is listening in. I want to share this so that I can make people understand. If they really want to have a change of mind, they have to understand certain things about what we call. The first thing I want to share today is the programming in our mind. Okay, now everyone knows we have a mind. Okay, we have a mind. There's a lot of things actually we are not aware. This is something very invisible. It happens from the time we are born, and the time we go through life. We go through a certain phase of understanding in our mind. Okay, this is called programming. So just like any animal, if you put the animal, the example, an elephant, even though it's a very big animal, you can easily program it, okay, to follow instruction. They say that as an animal, if they were to, like example, particularly an elephant, it's such a big, they only need to have to hold the elephant. He doesn't need a cage, because what they do is the keeper of the elephant, he just puts a big hole in the ground and ties the elephant to this pole, and the elephant will not pull his away. It can easily pull itself from the pole, but it will not pull itself from the pole, because it has experienced from before. It has been programmed that if you pull too hard, there will be pain in the leg. So to prevent it from having this pain, the elephant has been conditioned to not to pull, so that it will not because it have the pain, so it will stay put. So you can notice in the circus or anywhere, the elephant doesn't need a cage. He just needs, the keeper just puts a pole on the leg, on the ground, and tie the rope to the elephant, and the elephant will not move. Okay, it will stay put. You can easily pull the pole from the, it can easily pull itself away from the pole, but because of conditioning, it is stay put. Okay. Similarly with the fish, or a turtle, you put it into a small pond, it will grow according to the size. It cannot grow big, it will grow according to the size. Okay, this is a way of training the person. We call it training. Okay, but this is a way of conditioning the surrounding of the person, of the turtle or the fish in the pond or in the aquarium. It is conditioned, it will stay, it won't grow big. You can put a whale, it will stay still. Okay, this is what we call conditioning. Now, so similarly with our human beings also same thing. We have been conditioned over a period of time. Why I want to share this thing, very important, is because I notice I also have been a victim of this conditioning. I want to make this aware so that anyone who want to get on in life, it's good to know this early. I am not young, as you can see, I'm not young. So I found this out only very late in my career, in my marketing sales career. If I had found it early, some people can find it much earlier, to chance or to research and to reading books, go for training. This is what we say very important, is to have somebody to guide person. Okay, just like a sportsman, a young sportsman they are trained from young to win. They are conditioned. They are taken out from school, put into an environment of sporting environment, special school, special food, special conditioning, and they groom them up to become a very elite sportsman. Okay, if you went for badminton, for football, for any individual squash, tennis, they are groomed. You can notice all the great players, the superstars, all have the same pattern. Basketball team, in America, all this basketball team, they move from China, from whatever they scout. They feel this guy got potential, pull him out, put him into a place where he's groomed properly to become a world class. So, but human beings averagely, we don't have this kind of chance. Okay. Okay, we don't have this kind of chance. So when we do marketing and sales, I also have an agenda here. Alright, I'm talking this, I have an agenda. I also am want to groom people who want to do marketing to be competent. It's no point I keep on looking for people and then they are coming in and then they are not understand what is going on and then they leave, come, go. So the follow is very high, very tiring. So what I'm doing here is I want to share, because I have a lot of companies looking for talented marketing person, but unfortunately it's very hard to get. Okay, so because the companies don't have the time and the resources to train this kind of things, you have to train it yourself. I also encountered a lot of challenges, a lot of challenges, a lot of stubbornness to understand. Once I understood this thing about conditioning, then I was able to condition myself to get whatever, get whatever. So we are all like that. So anyway, the most person everyone will share here is I have a whiteboard so that you can understand this whole thing. I just want to share with you very simple. Nowadays you have all this TikTok and all, you have easy to catch. Okay, so what we want to share is conditioning. Okay, conditioning. All right. So this conditioning is actually called, also you can call it programming. programming, training. Okay, these are the two similar meaning of conditioning and training. Alright, so when we were born, the first person who we are exposed to is our parents. Alright, parents. That's the first one. So the parents are the first persons who condition us, okay, by bringing us up in a certain way. So today, a lot of parents have a lot of privilege to send their children from the time they are young to proper different schools, different programs to train the person up to become better in the school. All right, but majority of people just go through the normal sequence. Just bring them up naturally, and then go through so the normal sequence most parents or most people go through is from the first one is the parents. Then the other thing also we have is which is also goes into this conditioning is our religion. Okay, our religion. There are many types of religion. Islam, there's Christianity, there's and then there is Buddhism, there's Hinduism, there's so many other types of, all these are different forms of religion. So once we are born, we are born into a family of Christian, we follow the Christian path. We are born into a family of Muslim, we follow the Muslim path. And we go through life accepting the beliefs and the culture of a Muslim or a Christian or what. So today there is conflict because each have got different types of thinking. Alright, so this is all part of the conditioning. Very understand, right? Everybody understand. Okay, so one is this one, parents, one thing. So if you're born in the parents which are very wealthy, they look up to you, you're pampered, you are nourished, and then you come out to certain manner. A person who goes to a very impoverished, suppressed, broken home, most probably also come out to a certain manner. Alright, that's how it goes to conditioning. So I have to move on. So one is parents, religion, the other one is the teacher. You go to school. Okay, schools also there's the way we are conditioned. And then same thing, you go to English school, you go to Chinese school, you go to religious school, you go to different school, all play a part in our mind. So anyway, all this conditioning, the parents, the religion, the school, the teacher, okay, the government, okay, all these are part of the condition. So what happens is
your EPFC before? For most Malaysians, the answer is right.
So in Malaysia, generally in Malaysia and most parts of the world, what we do is we all go to school. At 6 years old, we go to school, primary school, secondary school, college, university, and then we get one qualification. Okay, we get everybody. This is the most widely conditioning we all go through. We go through this passage. Okay, this passage. So from here we go to this. It takes 24 years. Averagely 24 years. So we have been conditioned from the time we are born to about 24 years or so. We come out. We are either an accountant, a business graduate, economist, whatever. And then more or less the next thing we need to follow, we normally follow, is to get a job and an income. Okay, so this is normal. Okay, everybody goes through this. I also went through this. Now, during this process, we will experience some failure, some breakdown. Okay, we are all competing. One thing is, we have failure, maybe we didn't do well in the exam. That makes a very big impact on our mind. We change our whole direction in life. Okay, because we are not used to accepting failure. Our parents have been inculcate the thing: do not fail, do not fail. You fail, you go here, you cannot go to school, you cannot go here. So we are already conscious about failing. All right, that's one thing. Second is failure. Now, again, if you look back, all the super entrepreneurs went through failure. The bigger the failure, the bigger was their payoff. All right, the people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and so many others failure. You can see the biography. They all did not conform to most of these things. All right, they did not. Most of the businessmen, successful businessmen, did not mostly conform to this. All right, they had a different thinking. Somehow they were aware. They became conscious of certain things. But generally, most people go through this conditioning. Alright, this is how you are. By the time you are 24, you are more or less conditioned to a certain manner. Alright, so 24, you are conditioned, go to job. So if you do something different, you are not conforming with the circle of your parents will already tell you, don't go here, do this, become engineer. Sometimes if you change, you also don't want to offend them. They will get upset. You follow. And then of course what you do is you get married. Okay. Now, what happens is, once you reach this level, you start to earn money. The next thing you need to do is you need to find higher salary. Okay, you want higher salary because you find that your money is not sufficient to what you want to earn. So you work harder. So what you do, they say only work harder, get a better job. Alright, that is how most people go into life. So we go on working harder, we get married, we have the loan, business loan, we work harder and harder. Alright, so we get married, and then we go to the next one. We go this, we buy a house. Okay, buy a house. So once we have a loan. Okay, so all these things are already building up. Now along the way you find that once you got all this commitment, it's very hard to make any changes. Okay, because you are following a certain pattern. You do not want to take risks. You're scared, you're afraid to take risks because you find out that suddenly I want to change my direction. I can't because I have a housing loan and then I will not have a salary. Okay, so because if I don't have salary, I cannot find another job, and then I am getting old. So this is how it works. So we come into a stalemate. It's considered. So we just go through the next 10-15 years, and then we are at 55 or 60. Retirement. Okay, this is how majority people go through. This is what we call a running from paycheck to paycheck. All right, this is how. Now I also went through. I have also same. Okay, I also went through because this is how we were programmed. Now, only at a certain age when I found that I changed. I went to do something else. I went to do marketing. I didn't have an idea what I was doing. My friend said, "Hey, you can do better sales if you go do marketing." So we went into a multi-level marketing business. The first one, okay. Basically I was working as an accountant, and then I went to marketing. So I went to marketing, and then they said go and sell the products. So who do I sell to? I got no system, I got no experience, plus I got no income. Obviously, within a few weeks, not even get started by the kid, and then get started, gone. Okay, then you don't do anymore because scared, very bad. I cannot. This is, I don't understand this product. This is, but you see people getting successful there. But of course, there is a certain kind of thinking going on there. I need to do this something, but what is happening? They are not. I don't know how to do it. So we don't understand. So only when they asked me to read books, I was not in the habit to read books when I was young. Okay, because I was also conditioned to be not so proactive with reading books.
I dictate them using whisper flow.
So we are not so proactive with reading books. So obviously the habit of conditioning not to read books. When it came here, they said to read books. There's nothing. We don't have the energy and the commitment of to read books. So this is another factor why a lot of people, when we ask them to read books, they don't read. Okay, only when reading books that you can find certain of these things. I also only when after reading many books that I understood this thing conditioning. That's why today I want to share this to you. Many of us will not even bother to read about this conditioning. Alright, we go into an environment, we go into marketing, we go into sales, we go into a business without understanding the proper conditioning, fail very fast. So we avoid the fail, we don't do anything. Alright, so this is what very, very important. The first thing we need to do, understand, is we have to understand about conditioning, how we are getting, how we got here. Okay, not no fault of anyone, but happen. This is how it normally everyone goes through. We get to the conditioning. Alright, to get this. So when the time you are here, you are not able to do many things really, because technology, everything has changed. Alright, many things have changed. So you cannot, because first of all your energy will have dropped. Okay, energy would have dropped. Your circle of friends also dropped. Now what's happened here? Okay, a lot of things have changed. So majority people want to do retire. That's why you see today the government is always talking about trying to push the retirement age to higher. So much of time, so much of resources kept people on the job. But today it's getting very, very difficult to keep people in the job because they cannot keep on increasing the pay of the person. So what does some of us do is we go out of this circle. But now we are going to go somewhat deeper. Alright, I'm talking something deeper now. We don't follow this system. We go into something else. We go into becoming self-employed. That's why a lot of people feel they cannot go. They want to do this. They go self-employed. If you go to self-employed, you have zero income for the start. So you are also very. So that's why out of those maybe 100 people, if you take a study of 100 people, maybe a very small percentage will go into the becoming the self-employed, becoming a marketing guy, a salesperson. You cannot do much. You have no capital, so you have to go into something selling, some commission base. All right. So those days we have things we are familiar with, insurance, insurance, car sales, where they have a small basic, and then then you become salesman for a lot of things. Okay, but majority people go self-employed sales, or those who got a bit of money, they go into open a business. Okay, they open a business, but because of this thing, religion and the parents and the school teacher and all these things, you find also there's only certain type of people only go into a business. If you look around us, a certain race only have a mindset of becoming business, but the majority, the others in Malaysia, we have a multiracial group, but it's only certain group. The others are all mostly working. They're all here. Understand? They're all working. Okay, don't mention any race, but you know what I'm talking about. Those who are, they are into a business. They become more successful. Then we find other things. Oh, these people racial, all this justification comes up into our brain, and then we are conditioned. Oh, this is not good for us. Religion says you must not make money. It's not good to make too much money. You must not cheat people. But business is feeling. All these things is all become part of the conditioning. But we go through life justifying. All these things I will reveal as later. All right. So even though now here also many of us not 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 listening, because you are not you're not feeling the discipline, okay, to sit and watch and listen. So it's okay. I'm looking for a certain select of people who understand that this is what's happening. If you want to change your conditioning, I can help you change your income. All right. So my program here, you don't have to pay anything. As what it says here, free training. You don't have to pay anything. You listen to what I'm talking, and you understand what I'm sharing. You learn how to do all this. Your income, I guarantee you, will change. I have a lot of organizations, groups looking for committed salesperson. All right. I paid a very heavy price. I paid a very heavy price to learn all this stuff. I paid a heavy price means I went through a lot of failures. All right, failures to understand. I kept on investigating and understanding. I learned this, or understood this, or become aware of this at a very late age, because there were not much explaining because of the books were there, but we don't have the discipline to read books. So until we force ourselves to read books, until you force yourself to read some books, then you will get some kind of alertness, and then start investigating, and then you understand. So when I realized, conditioning, this was an aha moment. I said, wow, this is what it's all about. I can understand, I can change now my mindset. I have constantly changing my mindset. So always who I want to do marketing, you have to keep on understanding your mindset first must change. You must be prepared. So when I went into once I went into my next program, I was ready. I understood what I was going to do. I understood what is going to happen. I just went in straight, and I was able to easily go through the 10 years in the marketing program, because I had the reading. But that reading came because of my stubbornness. I wanted to really do something for my life, because you don't have a consistent income. So I have to understand. So people who want to go into something, you better get this training, conditioning first. Understand. Once you get your conditioning right, you become aware of this, your programming, anything can change. You can do anything. I notice people who have got working very mediocre, average performance, then after suddenly 1 year, 2 years later, they earn 10 times more than what they were earning. This can happen because they have changed their thinking. It's not so much changing it's not so much working hard, changing the customers, doing the same product, but with the quality, the heartbeat, they get certain things they do. One of it is changing the mindset, and then your mind open. Okay, your mind's open, your eyes open, your brain open, and your heart open, and then only you can see, I need to do this. And today, 2025, or even the last few years, it's so much easier to say today to become successful. It's going to be much faster, much easier, much faster. Why? To become a millionaire in the 50s, people like Henry Ford and Graham Bell and the Wright brothers, to make the first million, took 20, I think I heard like 25, 30 years. Okay, very long time. Okay, the one Microsoft and Dell and Facebook, shorter period, 8 to 10 years, maybe 8 years. Okay, now people are doing it in 5 years or even 3 years. Okay, we are doing it shorter and shorter because of the technology. So if those who don't understand this, open their mind to this technology, which I now also have access to you. I can give you this, I can know this technology. I know this about this technology. Obviously, we all know about this technology going on here, alright, but we are not using it to a manner, alright. Just like before the there was the calculator. Before there were like no handphone, but somehow we had to do certain things took time. But today with the handphone, things go much faster. Okay, things go, and the computer has made things go faster. So we can't nowadays do without the computer. But there's a lot of people who do not want to change their thinking, and they can't accept the new things, the gadgets, now today, okay, let's get to the point. This AI, all right? Everyone knows about AI. Today, previous 10 years, but we are still using AI like Google, as they say. So today, there will be a lot more faster millionaires coming out than if you are not on the bandwagon, you're going to be kind of left out. Many jobs are going to change, are going to be terminated. Okay? But I can tell you, marketing job will never be terminated, but it will be only good for those who have the good, proper mindset. Alright? So, now, how does this relate to business? Again, so what people do is, what we do is we go into a self-employed. Alright, I thought also self-employed was a good already. Alright, because everybody jump from here to here, self-employed. So self-employed, if you're a professional, you can open your own accounting practice. If you are not a professional, you cannot. You may have to do some marketing for someone. Alright, be baker. You must have a skill. Alright, you either have a skill or a service you provide. But if you are not able to have the skill or the service, you got only the mouth, then you must have to do marketing. So you do into marketing, insurance, sell products. Alright, sell products. So that's what we do. So nothing wrong with selling products, but again, when you go into the company, you sell the products. Follow rate is very high. The companies don't have. When I was in my first sales marketing job, I did very long time ago. I was also asking why they don't train us how to sell the product. They only sell the good thing. Oh, you're successful, this was so much successful, but we have the skill. The product is very simple, maybe half an hour, 1 hour, 2 days you can learn the product. But how to transfer this product into someone to make the money was not there. Alright, so that again another failure. Alright, so we find people who are successful. There's something I was always wanted to investigate what they were having, which I was not having. So I came from a background like this background, basic, very normal. So, I said, this guy didn't do well in school. Maybe he was better. Nothing bad. Alright. So, but today even the professionals are coming into this kind of program. Okay, self-employed. I say that there's an engineer, there's an accountant, the professional. But those guys who are I'm sorry to say that those mediocre, which generally they are more afraid of trying. All right. So we also want to attract people who have got a bit of higher kind of better mindset. Okay, to understand this. So we go into self-employed. Again, self-employed failure rate is very high. When you can see many companies, many shops, many companies, they don't have to waste the skill of talking. They will fail. They will give up. Either if you open a business, today there's so many doctors, so many restaurants, so many outlets that you cannot. If you don't have the big capital, you better be careful. There's no because many of us do into a business. The other thing we must understand is that we don't have a system. Okay, system. Every business there's a system. Now to become an engineer, they follow a certain pattern. To become self-employed, there's also a pattern. To become a salesman, there's also a pattern. There are many things you have to understand before you become successful. I'm not just talking about just joining. I'm talking about becoming successful. Okay, in the excelling in the program. So just like you want to be very good in certain sport, you have to get certain training. But when you come into becoming someone, nobody understand the importance of training, because when we were in school, again, we were not trained. We were trained just to find a job. We were not trained much other things. We were not trained how to speak. We were not trained how to think. Only think in a certain manner. We are not analyze into many skills. These skills are invisible. All right, you can only just like riding a bike. You cannot ride a bike, or you cannot learn swimming, or you cannot become a swimmer by reading the book. You have to get somebody to teach you how to read the book, or become a swimmer, how to swim, how to breathe, and riding the bike also. You must know how to balance. So only way is to get in the water and practice. The same thing when you get on the bike, you practice. So being a self-employed, there's not much. You maybe can work with someone, then you join or do your own business, which is very common. Most people do. They go and work with someone, then they come and open up a business, then become competition with the other person. Okay, so these are things we do. So, but if you're not having that kind of self-sabotage business thinking, then you will basically not want to do into a business. So it's all going into a very vicious circle of complication and evaluation, which sometimes many of us don't do anything. They just follow the rules. It's an unwritten rule: get a job and after retire, alright, and then wait for the time. Generally, this is what happens. Alright, so now people are living longer and longer. They find the EPF also not enough. So what we are doing is, I'm trying to help people who are actually intending to get out of this race in the next, and the next 10 years or 15 years they are going to retire, is to start thinking here. Alright, so I notice those who come into this sphere, they have come to a ship, but that ship is not enough. It's just one ship. We have many ships along the way. Okay, because we have to adjust ourselves according to the place and environment. So we can only adjust according to how much we can be open to training, how much we are open to training and mentoring and coaching. Then we can get this. Okay, we can get this step by step. So we go into self-employed. Now this self-employed, again, I'm not talking about this one here. What we do is, again, a lot of people fail. Like I say, a lot of companies come, a lot of people, salesmen come into a salesman is not entrepreneur. Okay, salesman is marketing sales. Entrepreneur is referring to different. I will explain to you what actually I mean by an entrepreneur. And a salesperson is a self-employed person. Alright. Now what a self-employed person is, those who work but once they stop work, they are considered no income. Okay, so that is what we call a self-employed. So a restaurant, a shop, once you close the shop in the evening or night, there's no income. But entrepreneur is somebody who he can earn money while he's considered sleeping. Alright, that is the intrigueness of an entrepreneur. What we want to share with you is how you can shift from here, the mindset of a salary person. I teach you how to get here, from here, if you are interested, from here to become an entrepreneur, and from here to become an entrepreneur. This is what my agenda here is. But to get there, you better learn the mindset first, conditioning. It's no point thinking you want to get here someday, sometime. When I will tell you now, most probably you will fail. Okay, you will not make it because you don't get this first. The first one. There are many other things which I will share. The first one is this conditioning. I am telling you this because I have experienced it the hard way. I'm making the journey going to be very much easier because today is the best time. Today, this era, the 21st century, 2025 is the best era available now with the tools we have, that you can make it very much easier and simple. You don't have to read so many books which I read through and go through so many agony and uncertainty. All this we can flattened. That's what they say today, the world is flat. People have got a chance to come from do anything they want, alright, provided they have the mindset. So we have these technologies all here, but I found no point I sharing all these techniques, because it will sound very wishy-washy. So I find best is to get down to the basic first, get aware of this basic. So I will share my own experience of what we want here. Alright, we want to help people to get into they want to looking at the next 10 to 15 years, want to retire, we can start now. Okay, you don't have to wait till 10, you can start retiring, start thinking about retiring now. Don't wait till 55, 60 to think of retire. It will be too late. Alright, now is the time. While you are working, you pick up a skill. This training skill. Alright, which only committed ones will do, which is going to be very few. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of just people passing through and back and forth, which is quite common. Alright, so okay, so this is the conditioning. Now, I cannot complete everything about conditioning. If you send me a message, if you send me a message here, and I will maybe get you on a map, on a journey of how you can get this conditioning become very normal. You become very aligned with this understanding of conditioning. There are many things we can help you conditioning. Once I knew this, I am now able to pick up any skill I want. All I need to do is find a coach, find somebody who is an expert in it, and get the tech. But today, even with the coach, you can have the technology on the computer, which I'm very I would say very fluent. 25 years I've been trying to work on do a website for a long time. But again, I was always thinking, how am I going to do the copywriting? How am I going to find the product? How am I going to find the gateway? So many things, So I was always very afraid. And then who will write all these things? So there were a lot of tools at that time. Still there are these tools. We have to go and investigate these tools and do. But after some time, it doesn't work, we give up. But now with the AI, I'm able to do website within a very short period. Now with a more upgraded version, you can even do it more in a very much faster period. Okay, don't doubt. This is the skills I think I have acquired, and I want to show you how you can make it. If you want to come into, we have a lot of. If we can train you, even if you become all this, if you want to do any other business, I can get you in touch with a lot of contacts, or we can working together. Okay, so self-employed, that is my agenda. Okay, so self-employed esteem. So what we want to share here is now here is actually once you get this mindset ready, okay, the conditioning. Okay, so for the employee, one mindset. Self-employed, one mindset. Entrepreneur, okay. And then there's another one, of course, super rich. Okay, so either you want to go through the hard way, go through the knobs, which most people will do, go to the employee, okay, and then which is avoiding failure, avoiding risk, avoiding focus on the job. Don't want to think about increasing the salary because the fear is overwhelming. All right, the fear to change is overwhelming. I have talked to thousands of people. I am aware. Many of this I feel very pain, feel very feel very stressed when I find that if person were able to understand the change the mindset, because I also went through the same thing. If I can change somebody's mindset, I can't do it if he's not ready. Okay, he must be willing to open his mind. That's what we call open your mind. That's why when you do certain business, they say you have to zero-rise yourself to accept the culture. Now, if you come from a marketing, from an employee culture, okay, and you want to go into a self-employed culture, it's a different mindset. And from here to an entrepreneur mindset is also a different. This is what we call mentoring, training, reading books, and there are a lot of things you have to do. When you speak to somebody, an employee, and you speak to someone who is self-employed, you can know what the person's what we speak is a reflection of our thoughts. That's what they say. What we speak is a reflection of our thoughts. So if we speak in a certain manner, I can more or less quite sure the person is whether it's going to be possible of making it in the business. All right, and if it's not a coachable one, if it's not I'm not a magician, but if it's not coachable, if it's not willing to follow certain guidelines, then it's going to be very tough. So I also investigated myself. I investigated people who were successful. I watched the behavior pattern. I watched so we find a mentor. So like when I was a young boy, I was intrigued by a certain very rich family friend. He's of course now passed away. He built from a scratch. He was an engineer. He built from a scratch. He built one of the organization is still running by his family, by his children. He built a scratch business, engineering business, consulting engineering business from the house. And at one time, today's most of the engineers who work who are successful, who build most of the buildings in town, came from this person. All right. Now his mindset, he worked 18 over hours a day. So he was one person I kind of like always remember his work ethic. His work ethic was nothing, was compared, is really great. His fun, he had all this thing, he had the passion to work, and his networking was superb. Alright? His networking was superb. Those days they don't have handphone. Okay, when he was around, the handphone was just coming out. So his networking was superb. So that was one of my first mentor, I would say, which I always think. So we all have somebody like that. Maybe some people who are looking at skincare, who are looking at do have a certain image of the person. All right, certain image of the person. So that is the thing which we want to share. So along the way, there's many mentors. So when I found that some people have to have a mentor, they say they got a mentor. I was also wondering what is this? What is a mentor? Then I found one mentor when I first started. It cost some money. That time was a bit of money, but because I was not used to spending money on training, it took a while to train. But because of the desperation, I would say, I paid for the mentor, and from there onwards, I realized the importance of a trainer. Now today in the internet, there's a lot and lots of people giving free training, but majority of people don't want to attend because again, coming from the background of not a person exposed to all this, you are not willing to listen. So there's a lot of I have benefited a lot from spending a lot of time watching the trainers. There's so many trainers and gurus in the internet which have progressed so much. All right. And they have made many people successful, but again they are always there. Today they are using AI. I have every night, most nights I have even though I'm not involved in that business, I always watch this training, this what they call it, previews. All right, previews of how to use the internet, how to do internet marketing and sales, so today comparatively to previously, there was the internet is there. So I hope today this short preview which I'm sharing here about conditioning is just the start of I would like to keep up with this, the start of what I want to share next. All right, to benefit people who are not willing to pay, and to understand that I'm giving it to this aware to you, but unless I think if you are looking for something very useful for your life, which is increase your income, then maybe this thing comes handy. All right, but anyway, doesn't matter. I still want to share because it also helps me to become a good giver. All right, and so it's no point, it's nothing much about the product, it's more about our conditioning of ourselves. Okay, so I think I will like to end here for today. So just remember to click the link if you are interested to know more, and then we will give me more encouragement to have more. I will have another session. It makes me more easy now to share this conditioning because it's the first very important thing you need to know is the conditioning. So we want to share, we want to get people, anyone interested, to move from this category to this category, because even in this category, if the person comes into become an entrepreneur, there are many things that will be considered entrepreneur. All right, because we are doing this, I will talk to you what is my meaning of this entrepreneur maybe in the next life. All right, and the person coming into this sector of entrepreneur is another kind of mindset, but we want to train you to understand, to come in here you have to have a certain mindset, conditioning. No point with what we are having now is most people coming with the mindset of an employee, mindset of a self-employed and doing this kind of business, which is a very big business. All right, so like I said just now, the first multi-level marketing I went to join was the MA. All right, so I didn't understand what it was, but many people became made a lot of people millionaires. Why many of them become millionaires is because they have a certain mindset, but majority of them don't make it. It's because they are from here and no proper understanding, like me last time. So when I kept going one after the other, I was no point I keep on going because I will ultimately fail. All right, so until I changed, I got to understand the training, the necessary training I did for myself, that I'm able to sustain in the business. So I want to help others who are interested to join this journey. All right, so we are not chasing anyone, we are want to attract people who want to join this business. Okay, so thank you very much. I will see you very soon, and please like, share and comment, and we will be looking forward. Okay, take care.